Good morning. My name is Jayme Tenneson. I'm the Nelson Griggs County State's Attorney. I've been serving as Nelson County and Griggs County State's Attorney since about 2013, I guess. I was appointed in Nelson County first in June of 2013, then in Griggs County in November of 2013. I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about the State's Attorney's Office, what the State's Attorney does in county government and the role that we play, as well as a few things that I've observed throughout my tenure as State's Attorney. I try to probably help you guys out throughout the way. First of all, I want to make a disclaimer. This presentation provides just general information related to the duties of the State's Attorney's Office and the relationships with the county. The presentation does not provide legal advice, and please present any questions to your State's Attorney. We do that. I just don't really want to step on anyone's toes. Each county and State's Attorney has their own way of doing things and may interpret the law differently than I do. So I think it's best that you ask questions of your State's Attorney. Thank you. First, I want to talk about the duties of the State's Attorney. Everybody, of course, knows that the State's Attorney first is to attend court, to conduct all prosecution. That's usually what you think of when you think of the State's Attorney. The State's Attorney also would defend the lawsuits against the county. Oftentimes those are covered by the North Dakota Insurance Reserve Fund, but generally it's the State's Attorney's job to defend the lawsuits and appoint another attorney if need be. The State's Attorney also advises the county, the district, township, school district officers on matters related to the duties of their office. That doesn't necessarily mean that you are the advisor of those specific subdivisions. But you at least give them advice as far as what the duties are that they must fulfill within their office. Also, we must keep a register of all official business and criminal and civil cases for the county. Probably the next biggest one as far as duties of the State's Attorney is act as a legal advisor to the Board of the County Commissioners, attend the meetings and oppose all claims made against the county. That kind of piggybacks on defend the lawsuits against the county. But usually as State's Attorney, I attend all commission meetings. If there's water board meetings with county issues that would specifically pertain to the county commission, or any other meetings, I guess, that the county commissioners would ask that I attend for legal advice to them. Also institute actions for collection of money within the county, assist in child support collection. Normally that doesn't amount to be a pile of cases, at least in the small counties that I work in. The state does have child support enforcement attorneys that do specifically do that for the state. But I normally get one or two during the year. The next and final one is to institute proceedings for mental health or chemical dependency commitments. And normally those, again, in my small counties, they're not a pile of cases every year. I know they're more in the larger counties. But that is if someone has a mental health issue where they need to be committed to treatment at either a hospital or the state hospital, or also chemical dependency where a person is a danger to themselves or to others. And either their mental health condition or their chemical dependency condition would present that they're a danger to themselves or someone else. So we work with family members or law enforcement or hospital staff to commit that person and go through the due process with that person. Now, State's Attorney, of course, we all have relationships with the other offices as well. So a State's Attorney also is general counsel for the other offices. I guess actually we're general counsel for the county, but we're general counsel for the other offices within the county. So at some point the recorder may come and ask a question or the auditor. And again, the State's Attorney should be available to attend or advise the county commissioners during the county commission meetings. Quite frequently when I'm at a county commission meeting, there might be just a quick question that might require a little bit of research, or there might be a large question or a large issue that may require quite a bit of research and some memos to the county. Again, we also prosecute. That's probably the duty that everyone's most familiar with. We work with, of course, law enforcement. We work on issuance of warrants. I also carry a cell phone, and I think all state's attorney's offices have someone that's on call at all times. So I carry a work phone for law enforcement to be able to contact me if they need a warrant or have a question about the application of law, if they're arresting someone or have been called out to a call. There's some county issues that I feel are important to talk about, since I think it's something that comes up frequently. And I also think that they're the questions that I commonly get asked by commissioners, and we have issues in the county. And these are kind of some issues that I've seen through my experience. I think the most important thing that everybody should try to at least take some training on and to be aware of are the open records and open meetings laws. And of course, open records are pretty much everything that we have, unless that specifically there is a section of code that has allowed that record to be closed. And some of that might be confidential negotiations, individuals' confidential information, or such as employees. I guess some cases that are still being investigated, cases that involve minors, that sort of thing. But it's very important, I would suggest and urge everybody to at least take a look at the Attorney General's Open Records Manual and Open Meetings Manual. That's something that can be just Googled, or can be provided by the Attorney General's office. But it is a pretty good general overview of what a person can and can't do within county government, or what we need to do for open records and open meetings, or if you have any questions, it's a quick reference guide. And of course, again, I'm going to suggest to speak with your own state's attorney about these issues. They may have a different interpretation of the law, but I do suggest that everybody does take a look at the open records and open meeting laws. So also, you could look at the Attorney General's. The Attorney General has a list of Attorney General's opinions regarding open records laws and open records meetings. I'm going to give a quick example of something that I see quite often, or a question I've been asked quite often. There's a common misconception that if not everybody is together at one time and they discuss an issue, as far as, say there's, I guess I can give an example. If there's three commission members that discuss an issue, but they don't do it at the same time. So commissioner number one calls commissioner number two, and they discuss a specific issue, and they get off the phone. Then commissioner number two calls commissioner number three, and they discuss that same issue. And commissioner number two said, well, I did speak with commissioner number one about this, and this is what commissioner number one thinks that we should do. If you have a 5-person board, you have now violated the open meetings laws. So they're complex, and there's something that you really want to pay attention to. Unfortunately, one of the counties I worked for did make the front page of the Fargo Forum because of a violation about 5 years ago. And regardless of what your intent was or what you did, it's embarrassing for the county. And of course, in a small town, everybody was curious what the commissioners did wrong and what they were trying to hide from everybody. So I would definitely encourage everybody to make sure that you don't violate open records and open meetings, and that if you have any questions, definitely ask. So we also, in a small town especially, we get calls from private individuals looking for representation. So another thing I wanted to talk about was who does the state's attorney's office actually represent, and who needs to find private counsel. As I stated before, my job as state's attorney, I am just a part-time state's attorney in both counties, but I don't have any private clients, and I don't carry malpractice insurance for private clients. So I simply represent the county. I'm the general counsel for the county board. If a city calls me with a question, I refer them to their city attorney. If private individuals call with questions, and it happens quite often in a small town, especially the town that I grew up in, I serve as state's attorney here. And I have friends or friends' parents call me for legal advice quite often. And unfortunately, I refer them to someone else because we're not covered by the insurance reserve fund for advising private individuals. So if your state's attorney, my recommendation is to, unless you have a private practice, to stay within the county and the county boards, your delegated duties by the Century Code. And that is all I have. Thank you.